Hello everyone. In today's video, we'll explore a super common Ielts speaking topic, the environment. Whether you're aiming for band 6 or pushing for band 7+, this is for you. Stay until the end for band 7+ upgrade tips, vocabulary breakdowns, and a pronunciation challenge. Part 1 interview questions. Question 1. Is there anything you do to protect the environment? Band 6 answer. Yes, I try to do a few things. For example, I always recycle plastic bottles and paper at home. I also try to save electricity by turning off lights when I leave a room. It's just small things, but I think they help. Upgrade to band 7+. I make conscious efforts to contribute to environmental preservation. Sort my recyclable waste, particularly plastics and paper. Conserve energy resources. These collective actions contribute positively. Band 7+ answer. Absolutely, I make conscious efforts to contribute to environmental preservation. For instance, I consistently sort my recyclable waste, particularly plastics and paper, at home. I also strive to conserve energy resources by promptly switching off lights and appliances when not in use. These are relatively small initiatives, but I believe these collective actions contribute positively. Question 2. What is the most serious environmental problem in your country? Band 6 answer. I think air pollution is a really serious problem, especially in big cities. There are too many cars and also factories, so the air becomes very dirty. This makes it hard for people to breathe and can make them sick. Upgrade to band 7+. A pressing environmental concern. An overwhelming number of private vehicles. Deteriorates air quality significantly. Poses significant health risks to the populace. Band 7+ answer. In my opinion, air pollution constitutes a pressing environmental concern, particularly in densely populated urban centers. The sheer volume of emissions from an overwhelming number of private vehicles and industrial facilities deteriorates air quality significantly. Consequently, this atmospheric degradation poses significant health risks to the populace, making it challenging to breathe. Question 3. Do you think environmental problems will get worse in the future? Band 6 answer. I'm afraid so. If people don't change their habits and governments don't do more, then yes, I think problems like global warming and pollution will get worse. We need to act quickly, or it will be too late. Upgrade to band 7+. Regrettably, I anticipate a deterioration. Fail to adopt more sustainable practices. Exacerbate. Implement drastic measures promptly. Irreversible consequences. Band 7+ answer. Regrettably, I anticipate a deterioration. If individuals persist in their current consumption patterns and governments fail to adopt more sustainable practices, then issues such as global warming and environmental degradation will undoubtedly exacerbate. It's imperative that we implement drastic measures promptly, otherwise, we risk facing irreversible consequences. Part 2 Cue card. Describe an environmental problem that has been in the news. You should say what it is, how it started, what problems it causes, what you think can be done about it. Band 6 answer. One environmental problem that has been in the news is air pollution in big cities. It occurs when a large number of vehicles and factories release smoke and harmful substances into the air. This causes the air to become dirty and difficult to breathe. In my hometown, the air quality is so poor that many people wear face masks even on normal days. The main reasons are traffic congestion and unregulated industrial activities. To tackle this issue, I believe the government should enhance public transportation to reduce the number of private vehicles. It would also be helpful to encourage the use of bicycles and walking for short distances. Furthermore, strict laws should be applied to factories to adopt cleaner technologies. These actions can significantly reduce pollution and make cities healthier to live in. Upgrade to band 7+. Air pollution in major urban centers. Emits smoke and toxic pollutants into the atmosphere. Significantly deteriorates air quality. Don personal protective masks. Heavy vehicular traffic and poorly regulated manufacturing operations. Invest heavily in efficient mass transit systems. Promote active commuting options. Transition toward sustainable energy sources through stricter environmental enforcement. Mitigate environmental contamination. Band 7+ answer. One environmental issue that frequently appears in the news is air pollution in major urban centers. It happens when an overwhelming number of private vehicles and industrial facilities emit smoke and toxic pollutants into the atmosphere. These emissions significantly deteriorate air quality, making it difficult to breathe. In my hometown, air conditions have worsened so much that people often don personal protective masks daily, even when there is no official alert. The main contributors are heavy vehicular traffic and poorly regulated manufacturing operations. To mitigate this problem, I believe the government ought to invest heavily in efficient mass transit systems to minimize reliance on private cars. It would also be beneficial to promote active commuting options like walking and cycling. Additionally, industrial sectors must transition towards sustainable energy sources through stricter environmental enforcement. Altogether, these efforts could drastically improve air quality and create healthier urban living environments. Part 3 Discussion Questions. Question 1. What are some of the biggest environmental challenges facing the world today? Band 6 Answer. I think global warming is a big one, which causes climate change. Also, plastic pollution in the oceans is very serious, harming sea animals. And maybe also deforestation, where many trees are cut down, which is bad for the air. Upgrade to Band 7+. Climate change, primarily driven by escalating global temperatures. Marine plastic contamination, posing an existential threat to marine ecosystems. Large-scale deforestation, exacerbating atmospheric imbalances. Band 7+ Answer. In my view, climate change, primarily driven by escalating global temperatures, represents a paramount global challenge. Secondly, marine plastic contamination is a critical concern, as it is posing an existential threat to marine ecosystems. Furthermore, large-scale deforestation, particularly in vital rainforests, is significantly exacerbating atmospheric imbalances and biodiversity loss. Question 2. How can individuals contribute to protecting the environment? Band 6 Answer. Individuals can do a lot. They can reduce their waste by recycling and reusing things. Also, they can save energy at home, like using less air conditioning. And trying to walk or cycle more instead of driving a car helps too. Upgrade to Band 7+. Play a pivotal role. Minimize their ecological footprint through conscientious waste management. Embrace the principles of recycling and repurposing. Optimize energy consumption. Opt for sustainable modes of transportation. Band 7+ Answer. Individuals can indeed play a pivotal role. They can minimize their ecological footprint through conscientious waste management, actively embracing the principles of recycling and repurposing. Furthermore, optimizing energy consumption within households, such as judicious use of air conditioning, is crucial. Lastly, opting for sustainable modes of transportation, like walking or cycling, significantly contributes. Question 3. Do you think governments are doing enough to protect the environment? Band 6 Answer. I think some governments are trying, but maybe not enough. They need to make stronger laws for companies and also teach people more about why it's important. It's a big problem, so they need to do more. Upgrade to Band 7+. Their efforts remain insufficient. Implement more stringent regulations. Enhance public awareness and promote environmental literacy. Undertake more comprehensive and proactive measures. Band 7+ Answer. While some governmental bodies are certainly making strides, I contend that their efforts remain insufficient. There is a pressing need for them to implement more stringent regulations on industrial sectors and significantly enhance public awareness and promote environmental literacy. Given the multifaceted nature of environmental degradation, it's imperative that they undertake more comprehensive and proactive measures to mitigate its adverse effects. Pronunciation tips. Tip 1. Stress in environment and pollution. Tip 2. Falling intonation to show seriousness. Tip 3. Linking sounds like plastic and what is it? Outro plus challenge. That's it for today's topic, the environment. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Challenge. Rephrase the phrase, save electricity, using 2 Band 7+ expressions in the comments. More Ielts speaking tips are coming soon.